Hey, comadres, welcome back to your Ojala podcast. I'm your host, Rose.
And I'm your co-host, Jezebel.
And this is episode number 17.
And today we're going to be talking about tipping culture, MLMs, and how ridiculous inflation has gotten just in our lifetime.
So fucking ridiculous.
Not even in our lifetime, the past couple of years.
Yes. I just had family over here from Houston, and they're like, dude, gasoline here is fucking crazy. We pay like $2.19 over there.
They do. They pay less over there.
And I'm just like, I know. And then we went to the grocery store, and Cokes, 12-pack of Cokes were like $14-15.
Dude, why are Cokes so expensive? You used to be able to get them for like 3 for $12.
She's like, over there, they're like no more than $4. And I'm like, bitch, next time y'all coming over here, like,
bring the Cokes.
Bring the Cokes because
and some gallons of gas.
Yes, for real. Because, dude.
Yes, dude, it is. And you know what? I think like for us, we're also lucky because we don't pay California prices. Yes, dude, it's expensive, but we don't pay California prices. Arizona too. When I went to Arizona in October, estaba bien pinche cara la gasolina.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, no,
it's
dude, insane. I can't. If you're gonna raise the prices of the food, of gas, and everything, like, give us all raises. I mean, I give
don't
you
get
guys
me started. I mean, yes, get me started,
but como yo, like, I'm a hairdresser. Like, people get fucking shocked if I up at $20. They're like, you know, and I'm like, y'all don't understand. Hair products have skyrocketed. Like,
so tell me about that, because for me as a consumer, a hairdresser, nail person, wax person, like, y'all set your own prices, right? So for us as consumers, y'all going up on your prices sometimes looks more like greed. Like, if my wax lady is waxing my eyebrows for $15 and then all of a sudden one day she's like, oh, well, it's gonna be $25. You're sitting there, you just got the service done, and now all of a sudden, like, you're like, oh, well, shit, I wasn't expecting to pay that. So tell me about, like, how as a hairdresser, like, you handle those conversations.
For example, I color your hair $140.
Okay.
Plus I have to do bleaching first, then your root touch up, then I have to tone it. Everything has gone up. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't gone up on my prices on people that have been with me for so long, because, like, I have a lot of clients that have been with me for so long, but they tip me good. So I don't care to not go up on their prices, because I'm like, no, they're
and you know, it's a for sure thing, right? Like, as soon as they need their hair done, they're calling you. So
there's some people that I know don't tip, or that I know aren't. So I do kind of bump it up. Like, for example, a haircut, $45. I don't ever go up on a haircut. Why? Because I'm not using products. It's just my time. But if I'm using products, yes, I have to bump it up a little bit, because
that's what's going up.
Each toners are expensive. Plus, if you have to mix different toners to achieve this color or achieve this blonde, you're using 3 toners. Even if it's not the whole thing, you're still using.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like, for each thing, you use so much. A veces, you know, even so it's like, for example, I do a blonding session and they use 3 different toners. You have to use 3 different toners to create this formula, because I'm a witch. I just start freaking mixing some shit, and it just happens, you know? But then you have your developer también. For everything, you have to use developer, foils. Like, me and my friend Emily just went half and half on a box of 10 boxes of foils, because each box of foils are like $19.99 when you can buy a whole box of 10 for $100. So I said, let's go half and half, 10 and 10. Or 5 and 5.
Well, that makes sense.
Because it'll save us some money, because it is so expensive. So, I mean, when I find deals like that, I do the math, and then I say, hey, you want to do this? Because this and this and this. And she'll be like, hell yeah, you know? But it's hard for us, because people do get shocked at us going up on our prices. And it's like, you know, y'all have to understand that we have to pay to work to do your hair. We have to pay for the color and everything out of our own pockets. So I mean, if you can tip. If you can't, absolutely can't, like, okay, ni modo, you know. But I mean, tip your hairdressers a la verga. No sean codos.
See, and for me, let me tell you my perspective on it, because as a consumer, and I think like when we had barely started too, I used to tip heavy. I always used to. But the way that I have seen the world kind of move, my nail person, my eyebrow wax person, with hair, with pedicures, like with everything, I no longer do that. And the reason for that is because we're paying for a service, and we're paying, like, it's like, okay, well, I don't call TXU and say, oh, y'all kept my lights on all month. You know, here's an extra. Or, hey, y'all, water bill, like, I had water all month, like, you know, here's a little bit extra, right? Like, it's a service. And I just don't believe in that really anymore, because to me, it's just like, if everybody is setting their own prices, like, charge what you're worth. You know, that's like my perspective on it, because it's going now into tipping culture. It is completely out of fucking control.
It really is.
Why am I having to, como le hiciste ahorita with the 7, or not 7 brew, but like wherever you said that they were like,
oh, one more thing on the screen, and I'm like, it makes it so fucking awkward, because I'm like, so I just always give them $1 because I feel bad, but I'm like,
or
and
they'll
I told
be like,
her,
oh, it's got one more question on there for you.
And then they'll look around like, I'm like, don't fucking do that. There's a fucking TikTok about somebody making fun of them for doing that. And it's fucking hilarious, because, I mean, that's what they fucking do. They'll, oh, there's one more question. And they're like,
here, let me ask you this though. Do you think it's awkward for them too?
Yeah.
You do? I wonder where this is coming from then, that these corporations and these companies are like, oh, okay, well, let's just start asking customers to tip. Even though it's awkward for the customer and it's awkward for them, because I literally told her, we were just talking about, because you went to go get a drink or something, and we were talking about, you know, preparing for this. And I was just like, you know, I proudly say no tip or cancel or whatever the thing is, and then just give it right back to them and smile. Because to me, if you are making an hourly wage, I'm not going to give you anything extra for doing your job. Right. So I don't even know if my drink is going to be good before I tip you.
Actually, 7 brew drinks are always good.
Dude, I still have not gone.
Bitch.
I actually have that on here too. You cannot beat the convenience of Starbucks.
The app thing.
The app, the quickness, like the in and out, your card's already connected. Like you need a reload, it just reloads whatever card you have selected. Like I can't.
Whenever I go to 7 brew, I have my sticker on my visor. They scan it. I do the touch pay. Vámonos.
So on average, how long do you take to get your drink?
It's not as long as at Starbucks. That's for damn sure.
Well, see, I never go through the line at Starbucks, so I don't even know what that's like anymore.
I do, and it sucks.
I literally, before I leave my house, I'll put the order in.
No,
and then I'll go and just do that.
No, I don't know how to work with the app. Sorry, I don't.
Y a mí me desespera. Yo soy bien desesperada. And I'm like, go. I don't have the time. So for me, like, I don't want to go and just wait in line for something because I'm already spoiled. Don't go to Dutch Bros and fucking order in the line, because I was in the line for a good 32 minutes. Qué desesperación, dude. No, and they don't know where to go?
No te puedes salir a la verga?
It's like, not Starbucks, it's like Whataburger.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
And my husband loves going to Whataburger.
Because it's so fucking good. Whataburger is so stinking good and like just fresh and stuff, but I think that's why it takes forever. From there? Oh, I always get a number 1, no onions, extra pickles, Diet Coke, and a Whata-sized Whataburger, or a Whata-sized fries.
I always get the green chili double. But I don't eat both breads. I cannot eat both breads on the burger. See? So what I do, I flip it over and I take the bottom, the butt, and I toss it.
See, and the other thing that I would eat, pero tengo que tener antojo, because it's not a gusto to eat it. No te la puedes comer. I feel like I'm like, and then like chomping at it. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich.
I don't like barbecue sauce.
Oh my God, dude. It is so good. Pero te digo, like, because they put it on like toast. And then they put 3 chicken strips on it with the sauce and then with the bread.
With the cheese.
Is so good. Pero de veras, tengo que tener muchas ganas de agarrarlo because it's just not comfortable to eat.
Yeah.
Like, no te la comes a gusto like a burger.
Chicken strips are very clumpy and
very clumpy.
And then they hurt on the top of the roof.
That, and then they're hot too. And they're big.
Okay.
Whataburger, that's like, I love it, pero no te puedes salir. So if you are stuck in that line and you're waiting on your food 40 minutes, you're stuck in that line waiting on your food 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that they're trying to be more efficient with like the 2 lines and stuff, but dude, it's
still
just
the same shit. But you know why?
The convenience of stuff.
You know what? You know why?
Why?
Because they make your burgers fresh. They don't. They don't let the meat just sitting on the grill or like in the heating thing, like at Wendy's. Wendy's, you'll make patties ahead of time and have them sitting. And then I used to work at Wendy's.
So McDonald's does the same thing. They have all these patties cooked already, and then they just have them in there.
And I was like 16, 17 when I worked at Wendy's. It was back in the day. And
hace unos años.
Y'all, if y'all knew how that chili was made, y'all would not eat that shit.
Bitch, remember I told you that I got food poisoning from that chili one day?
Dude, if y'all knew.
I got food poisoning y jamás he vuelto. It was my early 20s. I had just moved here.
No, if y'all knew, y'all would never freaking eat chili ever again.
Seriously?
Yeah. Whatever patties are left over from...
They just ground it up.
They just...
Dude, pero es que está bien bueno. I remember that it's fucking good with cheese and sour cream on it. Ugh, it's so good. Pero no, I will never...
No.
Just because of that one time, dude, estuve enferma. Yo creo toda la semana. It was awful. Yeah. It was awful.
Food poisoning is... Ugh. Parece que tienes the worst hangover ever.
Plus, like the cramps in your stomach, and then you can't stop going to the bathroom, and then it's the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the tipping culture thing. So I read a comment on a TikTok one time because I'm such a fan of comments. I don't know. Do you read all the comments with everything? I feel like a lot of our exchanges, like, bitch, the comments, or read the comments.
And then I want to take a little, remind me later on because I want to shout out that girl for that comment because that comment was.
Oh, I know. Yes.
Yeah.
So I saw a comment that said that somebody was talking about like tipping culture on nails because I guess she paid like $70 for a shellac pedicure. And she's like, dude, this is why I can't like keep up with this. This is too much. And then somebody started talking about like tipping culture and all that. And somebody said, I'm not tipping if I'm ordering my food standing up. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Dang, that was that kind of put everything into perspective for me too, because I was just like, yes, that's a really good thing. Yeah. Because when you're at a restaurant and you're ordering your food, if you're sitting down and you're in a eat-in restaurant, those servers make $2.13 an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has increased now. So they are literally living off of tips.
Yeah, and catering to your needs,
yes. So if I go to Los Guachos and order stuff on there and then they ask me for a tip, the answer is no.
Yeah.
And I'm loud and proud about it. And maybe I'm wrong, right? Like maybe I'm the asshole for it, but I don't tip.
Here lately, she's been saying that a lot.
What?
Am I the asshole for it? No, but
am I actually starting to care what people think?
No, I doubt it. Hey,
I'm just curious.
No, but in that perspective, like, I want to be like her because I'm telling you, when they start doing this shit, like, I'm like, fuck, I gotta tip them at least $1.
Oh, yeah, you should start looking up, too.
I'm gonna be like...
No, like, what are we looking at? Yes, those como
right, no, dude, so... I want to be more like her in that perspective because I want to not be like, feel like I have to tip because you make a lot of sense when, so.
Yeah. So when I read that, I was just like, dude, that is so smart.
The reason why I tip is because it's so fucking hot outside and they're walking around outside with the tablet and I'm like, $1 not going to fucking hurt me. So.
But how many times do you go? Let's say 5 times a week? That's an extra 5 a week.
Yeah.
Times 4 weeks in a month is $20. That's an extra $20 out of your pocket.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
For-
So, yeah, fuck them.
For them to do their job.
Yeah.
And again, you don't even know what your drink tastes like when you pay.
Well, at Seven Brew, it's always... You need to try the blondie.
A ver si un día
No.
a ver si un día me invitas.
Okay.
I'll show you how to not tip.
Okay.
No, and I don't do that. I don't do that to be an asshole. I really don't do that or to say like,
no,
oh,
I know
fuck
you
them
don't.
or anything
it makes
like
sense
that.
Why?
But it's just no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but no. So again, like the regular wages versus the servers. Now, if I were to have knowledge that the people at, for example, Seven Brew make $3 an hour and they survive solely off tips,
No, pues,
con gusto,
yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
the car wash too. At the car wash, I used to tip because you know how they clean your thing with, I don't anymore because they're being paid to do their job. And not only that, and maybe this is me just being jaded, but the car wash, they don't do that good of a job to dry your car. They're literally just making sure that it's just not dripping.
Yeah.
Whenever you leave, right?
Well,
it's not like they're detailing it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a VIP.
Oh, that's
but
right.
I get the like they get down on this little stool and they wipe my rims and they shine up my tires and
even
everything.
if they did, I wouldn't.
And I tip them
because that's my monthly contribution. I'm paying every month
paying
to have that service done.
$63, I think.
You know, now if there's if that car wash all of a sudden like de veras me dejan el carro siempre freaking spotless, then I may reconsider. But it just, again, it's not like they're detailing everything all badass or anything. They're literally just trying to get it done.
And really,
or for somebody to go out of their way.
Go to the one on Eastridge Road. They do a fucking hell of a good job. They really do.
Pero me queda ya muy lejos.
I know you have one over there. And I guess because Mijo's the manager there and they know me already, I think they go above and beyond for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I appreciate them.
Yeah. So there's that. And then also, when we went to Annie's thing, what was that place called? That's right. La Salsita.
Pinche,
Yes. I didn't tip anything.
Okay.
It has like the spot on there to tip, but I'm ordering my food at your counter.
Yeah.
And the person who runs the food comes and brings it to me. Nobody went out of their way for me. Nobody is there to serve me. I have to get up and order a refill. I have to get up and order more food if I want it. So why?
Yeah.
Because the restaurant is clean, that just means that people are doing their job. So that's where I'm kind of
and that makes sense. And I'm gonna start doing some of that too because it makes sense. Like now the wait staff, like I completely understand because they do get paid. Yeah, me too.
Always.
Me too. Especially if they go above and beyond for me, because sometimes my kids be asking for extra shit, or Rain will be a little fucker and
girl, that's why we always do
chinguero de mes. Like I'll tip good because I'm like, fuck, they gotta.
Yeah.
And I'll try to clean up too, like stack up the stuff so they could take it and stuff because I don't want them to have to reach and I'll do all that. I do help out a little bit whenever.
So for us, we kind of do the same thing because Emmanuel cannot leave a restaurant with all the mugrero, with the table a mess. Like,
me.
And I'm not saying that I could have. I have learned more from him on that sense where it's just like, no, nada nos cuesta to like pick up on the floor. If there's fucking fries all over the floor, like luego con una wipey, like just grab them and then put them on the plate because they throw all that stuff away. I'm a fan of stacking the plates and I'm a fan of moving. Like if you're, remember Carino's? Because that's where I worked for so long. So if I look familiar to anybody, it's probably from there. I worked there for 3 years and they had these long ass booths. And so it would really, really help whenever customers would kind of move all of that over to the edge because you don't have to fucking go in there and like acostarte en la pinche mesa para sacar todo. You know, like you have to do that to wipe it down, but at least you only do it once you're already wiping it down. So I always appreciate that. So I do that. Pero, nombre, dude, hay gente, dude, when I was a server, hay gente que hacen que dejan que sus hijos hagan un desmadre and they leave you $5 on a $200 ticket.
Oh no.
Those are like the horror stories that I remember that I'm just like, ay, Diosito, líbrame, por favor.
Like, seriously, o sea, now if the waitress is a shitty waitress and stuff, or they're not doing their job right, as far as like when you ask them for stuff to bring you extra lemons or whatever it may be, if they're not doing a good job, then I still leave them a tip. It's not going to be as grand as I would have, but I'm still going to leave a tip because that's still their job. You know, it's still, how can I put it in words? Like, they're still doing their job, but I mean, I see the place is fucking full and stuff, and I'm like, they could have forgotten, or they could have this, even though, you know, they should be better.
You're better than I am.
I still leave them a good $15 tip.
Well, and yeah, and I think because I have experience in it, si la miro que anda madre de mesa en mesa, and she's going and she's coming and, you know, or he, whatever, and like andan a madre and they're trying to get everybody taken care of. Si se te olvidan las pinches limones, it's fine. Cuando tengas chance, like, and if it's not that big of a deal, because I like my Diet Coke with lime or with lemon. So, si se te olvidan, like, it's not that big of a deal. Now, si miro que andas ahí todo pelmudo and you're walking like que te pesan las patas.
Or you see them out there platicando or on their phones, like, that's where I'm like, okay, I did that one time. I didn't tip because she forgot everything that we asked her for. She wouldn't bring us refills right away. I think my husband had asked for another beer. Y duró, dude, para traerla. And it's like we would try to get her attention y nada. My husband was like, que mal servicio, and he's not one to ever complain. And he was like, muy mal servicio. He's like, la neta, dice, no puede ni pistear a gusto. But I didn't leave her tip, and she knew. And she was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no. Pero I did see her allá platicando and flirting with the guys and on her phone and stuff. So I didn't see her working. Now, if I would have seen her working, I would have understood a little bit more, como dices tú.
Yeah.
But no, it was more like she wanted to be hanging out and stuff. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, hasta mi husband me dijo, should I just go ask for another beer at the bar? Because, you know, this is ridiculous. And no.
And to me, I'm of the mindset of that is your job. So back to the whole thing, people who are getting an hourly wage to do their job are getting an hourly wage to do their job. The servers are working for a tip. So if you don't give me the good service, okay, me den attitude. Dude, eso me da pinche rabia. Like, I get it. Being a server is not for everybody. But if it's not for you, I will buscar algo más.
Yeah.
Because no.
Sáquese de aquí.
En mí, dude, yo la manera que soy, Manuel gets so mad at me because he said, dude, just let it go. Or like, yeah, like I'll ask for it. Or like, do you have to have that?
Yeah. If I want it. Yeah.
Yes, como te digo. Or like, a mí lo que me cae en las meras, allá donde te conté, en los ovarios, is when you ask them for something and instead of them being like, yes, I'll get that for you. Or like, you know, what kind do you want? Or whatever. They just and walk away. Like, no. Because it's rude. I don't know how you can like acknowledge somebody's order without verbally speaking to them as a server.
Yeah. And if you're having a bad day, I'm sorry, get it the fuck over with or get the fuck over with it.
Get it the fuck over or
get over it.
Get the fuck over it.
Yeah. And move the fuck on, and your job is your job, and whatever you're dealing with, apártalo, because it like comes into play whenever you're attending to somebody. You can tell if somebody's having a bad day. Yeah. You can tell the vibe they give. So I go according to the vibe too. If you're not giving me a good vibe, and if you're not like I start my tip at a certain amount, and then it starts declining if, you know.
See, I don't. But to me, again, I have very little compassion or room for it because I was there.
Yeah.
And even though you could be having a shitty ass day, or like the perfect example is like at the end of the month, I promise you, if you go out to eat at the end of the month, those servers are going to be hustling because they're trying to make rent. And I I don't know if that's like a trade secret that I just spilled or what.
Yeah.
But dude, te estoy diciendo, at the end of the month, if you wanted to do something as a server, or like you wanted to go on vacation or whatever, it was like that, finding somebody to fill your shift because everybody's trying to make rent.
Yeah.
So, you know, people are doing that. But, but that can also translate as like extreme stress, where it's just like andas rascando bajo las piedras, or whatever that saying is, or buscando debajo de las piedras para poder encontrar dinero to pay your rent. So it could also come off as like desperation. But let me tell you how I look at it now, where I'm at. Thank God I don't have to be a server anymore. I would if I had to. Happy to do it because it was so much fun. Like that was like the fun. Yes, dude, it was so much fun. I loved it. And I'm such a people person too.
Yeah.
Y yo también ando a madre all the time. So it was like kind of like my outlet too.
I see them carrying the big ass trays like that. And I'm like, my muñeca would never.
No, it doesn't. No, because you don't just do it like
my
that.
arthritis could never.
Las reumas could never.
No. Oh, yeah, my carpal tunnel could never. Because, bitch.
But now the way that I look at it is that it's not just about the tip. It's about the experience for us as a family, dude. Porque está cabrón ahorita en esta economy hacer cosas.
Yep.
Like, we now, as time has progressed, me and my husband have gotten to a point where it's just like every weekend, almost every weekend, we eat dinner out. Or we eat lunch out, because it's just, me parto la madre toda la semana cocinando. So, yes, sometimes, or not sometimes, but especially recently, maybe it's just recently because of the baby.
Yeah.
The bitch is tired and just, you know, I want to go out to eat. We have been going a lot. So, to me, it's just like, no matter how many times I go out to eat, even if I'm eating out every single day, like, I want a nice experience.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like, so if the server ruins it, or the server is a piece of shit, or the server is rude, or she's flirting with my husband, it ruins the experience.
Yeah.
You know, and not only that, but for me as a family with young kids, se desesperan, se cansan, they get hangry, the baby wants to be running around. So I'm already dealing with all of that. So to put up with the server's attitude, or negative attitude,
no,
like that.
Mi madres, I
don't
think
about the entire thing.
Don't flirt with our husbands, because,
curb stomp you outside, walking outside of your shift.
No, I'll fucking trip you while on your shift, while you're carrying the fucking tray.
So this isn't necessarily related to like actual tipping culture, but how do you feel when you go out to eat, or you buy something, or you're paying for something, y te salen con, oh, well, if you're paying with a card, it's going to be a 3% charge.
And be like, ni madres, let me go to the ATM. I mean, not
this is why I fucking love her, because same.
Not any ATM. I'll go to my fucking bank's ATM, because I ain't going to get charged. Fuck no. No. I'll fucking drive.
Same.
Even though my husband's like, te sale la misma la gasolina. I'm like, no, me vale madre, but they're not going to get my fucking 3% or 6%, whatever the fuck.
Let me tell you, we have a business outside of my job and outside of my husband's business. And I'll tell you that is a membership type of service, membership-based service. And we get charged 2.75% for every card that we run. Okay.
That's fucking bullshit, dude.
It is, but it's how cards work. So what I'm getting at is that I don't tell our members, hey, you can't, or your membership is $40 this month, but we're going to charge you an extra 3% because of your card. No, as a business owner, as a business, as an establishment, that is part of your operating cost. And I 1000% refuse to pay that.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah. Like, you don't itemize your electric bill for me. You don't itemize your water bill for me. You don't itemize your parking, like on a food truck. You don't itemize your parking bill for me, your gas bill, your none of that.
Yeah.
So why are you itemizing and charging me for my preferred method of payment?
Yeah, I just got that sprung on me at the salon. Like the owner was like, hey, if you're going to pay with... Well, she let everybody know.
It doesn't matter.
She was like, if you're paying through Cash App, I need to pay the 2%, something. And I was like, fuck. because most of my clients pay with Cash App or Venmo. So I have that money there. So why not just let me, Cash App it to you? But now that she did that, there's that rule. I'm like, well, no, I'm going to go get it out of the bank, or if anybody pays me with cash, I'll keep the cash.
And just start sucking it up to pay that.
Yeah,
no.
Because no.
Mm-mm. Why are we as consumers, sorry, I'm all fucking pissed now.
Yeah, sin cabronala, girl.
Why are we as consumers having to pay that operating cost for you?
Yeah.
I had a food truck tell me, I ordered it, I believe I had called it in or something like that, and I got there and it was time to pay. And I handed my card. They tell me the total and everything. And I handed my card and they're like, oh, it's going to be a 3% charge, to pay with the card. And so he was already going to, so I was like, skirt. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
He didn't have a sign. He didn't have it like anywhere that I saw.
Mm-hmm. It's like me telling her she's my client, because she's literally my client too. Aparte de mi comadre.
Yeah.
It's like me telling her, hey, since you're paying with Cash App now, I'm gonna have to charge y'all.
Please don't start doing that,
Fuck,
dude.
No.
Please don't start doing that to people.
I would never, because that's how my people pay, and it's my choice. I made it my choice to offer Cash App and Venmo because it's so easy to pay through there. I'm not gonna go and tell my people like, oh, since y'all are paying. Now, if it was a credit card, because credit cards do, charge me, but on Cash App, you don't have to cash out right then and there. You can do it to where it takes a couple days and you don't get charged anything. It's free. So why are you still going to charge me the 2%? Like, that makes no sense. Make it make sense.
Not only that, here is the biggest problem that I have with that, besides obviously it being an operating cost.
Mm-hmm.
In the grand scheme of things, okay? 3% of $1,000 in sales is $30.
Oh my gosh. I never like really put it that
I'm
way.
a numbers person, dude. I'm telling you, yo estoy bien pinche loca y bien reponosa para eso porque no me salgan con chingaderas. So you're telling me you are willing to lose a customer $100. Let's just say my total is $100. Tanto te pueden los $3 que te va a cobrar la credit card. And it's not even always $3. That's the biggest, or not 3%. That's always like kind of like the to cover everything. But usually it's anywhere from like 2% or 1.75% to about 3% max. 3% is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Pero tanto así te pueden $3 on $100 tip, 3%?
Yeah. That makes.
I'm telling you. So
I just got an ick for that.
So, it's just extremely, extremely frustrating. Like, to me, honestly, 100% transparency, no vale la pena. If your business is making you, $5,000 a month, and that would be 30, 60, 90, 120, $150 from $5,000. Ew.
Yeah, ew. For real.
So
now that she puts it in that perspective, like, I'm like, ew, for real. That's so dumb. Because there's no way I could ever tell my clients like, okay, like, if you're going to use Cash App, no.
Okay, let's take it a step further.
Yeah, no.
Te voy a comprar let's just say birria tacos from, La Birreria. Let's just say the plate is $10. 30 cents to run that card.
It's dumb. Like,
where? O sea,
like, why?
Si fueran $3, $4, even a whole dollar would be 10%. Ahí hasta más te entiendo, because that really cuts into your profit. But 3%, bro, come on.
That's 30 fucking
Off
cents.
my soapbox now, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just really something that honestly bothers me to no end, porque I'm like, no.
No, pues ya me encabroné yo también porque no lo veía de esa manera.
Honestly, no mames.
Yeah.
No mames.
Hey, so now that I go places and they tell me, pues, I'm going to run your card, but it's going to be, I'm like, no mames. Mejor no. Ya me voy.
¿En serio?
Cancel.
Be like, ¿en serio?
Es neta. For real, dude. I'm gonna be like, es neta. Be like, no, ya me voy. Mejor.
I mean, it's just, I'm telling you, I see it like that. And to me, it just is not something that's, you know, worth it in my personal opinion. And I don't know if they charge it because they just think, oh, 3%. No, I'm not paying that because they want to pay with a card. They haven't actually looked at the numbers or they haven't,
like me,
or they haven't actually, you know, and then on top of that, I will tell you, when you're running your cards like that, or for like memberships, especially, I can't speak on like running, like having that service itself. But for us out there, it's like $150 or $170 just to be able to have that software to run the cards monthly. So that I can understand too, how it'd be frustrating to have to be out that money. Pero también, como te digo, 170 in the grand scheme of things, like it just does not.
Or do like taco. Just take cash. Yeah. They don't do credit cards. They don't do checks. They just do cash.
Yeah. No, dude, I won't pay it. And if they have that little sign like Taco Loco, that's who comes to my mind. It's Taco Loco Birreria. If you order online, they charge you 2.75% or 3%, one of those on their website.
Oh,
for running the card. And they call it a credit card service fee or service fee or something like that. Guess what I do when I see that? You got me all the way fucked up. The answer is no. I'll either call my, because they'll let you call your order in and then pay there. But of course you have to take cash if you don't want to pay it. Just get all riled up with that. Por eso.
No, because everything's so expensive. So if you can save a little extra money, why the fuck not? You know?
Yeah. Te digo, I feel like for me, it's not that much about that. It's about like,
no, for me, it is.
It's like, dude, don't put that operating cost on your consumer.
Yeah.
You know, like
te están haciendo el favor de venir a tu changarro.
Thank you. Y todavía te pones tus moños con la manera que quieren pagar. You know, like, no.
No, yes, I get it.
Yeah. So next we've got MLMs. I'm curious on your thoughts on MLMs because I know there was one time that we kind of like touched on it or talked about it way back. We were still at the company.
También whenever I did Plunder.
Oh, yes.
That you're like, no te voy a comprar la verga. I was like, mira, esta pendeja no me quiere comprar.
I did.
No con que muy amiga, but no, I didn't think like that. I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. But then she told me why, and then I was like, fuck these people, because you know what pissed me off from
what happened,
dude? So I went to Juarez, to the sand dunes in Juarez. Remember when I went with my husband, my cuñada, we went to the sand dunes over there and climbing the fucking hills of sand, like really huge.
No,
it's
I can't.
The fucking worst. Y lo está bien pinche calor,
was it even fun?
No, well, it was fun when we did it, but not going up and down. Like, no, it was a fucking pain in the ass, like sand everywhere. It was so hot. I couldn't breathe. I really thought I was going to pass out once I got to the top of the hill. And, my wristband for my previous Apple Watch, was from Plunder, and it snapped off, like the little botones that snap on.
Yeah.
Weren't that good or something, that it snapped off, and I lost my Apple Watch in Juarez at a casino. First I lost it at the sand dunes, but my cuñada's boyfriend found it, and I put it back on, snapped it back on, and I noticed that it was a little bit, que no agarraba bien, but it was enough to hold on for that day.
Right?
So then we go to casino that night, and I'm wearing my watch, but then I noticed I don't have it on, and I was like, where's my watch? So my phone was saying the watch was at that casino we went, and I couldn't find it. So I was like, I commented on the group for Plunder. I was like, hey ladies, y'all watch out with this wristband because it didn't snap on.
I already know where this is going.
Tell me why nobody gave a fuck about nobody said, hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. Hey, that sucks. I'm sorry. Like, which one? What? No, nobody showed any kind of interest. It was like, I commented everybody saw the message, but nobody said, oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Like, nothing.
Gosh, I feel like I could have a whole episode on MLMs. And I think we will at one point, because obviously we're going to repeat topics and
Like
we're going to
the
go over
Monet
stuff.
shit.
So I am admittedly a recovering MLMer. So my journey started in 2008. I think it was like the year after I had moved over here, or like a little bit after I had moved over here, and I got sucked into Advocare. Now, one thing I will say is that I still use Spark almost every single day, every other day. It's been 12, 13, 14 years now. I don't know. I still use it because I love it so much. I 150% love Advocare's products. And my mindset at the time and the way that I got brainwashed was, oh, you love the products. Why don't you get paid to talk about the products? And that's how it kind of like started for me. And I was just like, absolutely. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. That's freaking smart. So they were like, okay, well, you have to sell this much in order to get to this point, or you could pay $2,100 and then you get all this product that you can then sell. Obviously, a college student, I didn't have $2,000. So I was just like, no, I'll work my way there. And that is still one of my proudest accomplishments, because I did it. I was able to get there. So now I reap the benefit of having 40% off, all of my products forever. So I was so untasteful with how I promoted everything. I would like lived, breathed, freaking died for Advocare. Like, I was wearing t-shirts. You couldn't even say hi to me. Have you heard of Advocare? Oh my God, it's so good. It's changing my life. Like, I have so much energy and I feel so good. And it was so tacky and it was ugly. And I just, listen, anybody who knows me from back in the day knows. And years and years and years went by, and I never really was able to do anything big with it, but it did help me bring in a couple $100 every single month, probably for like 2 years. So as a college student, having $100, $200 extra dollars a month is really beneficial, and it's really awesome, right? So I loved it. So in my mind, I was like, oh, if I can make $100, I can make, however. And that just initiated me to keep pushing more and more. So then in 2019, several years later, it went downhill, because MLMs are always being said that they're scams and that it's pyramid schemes. And it's like, yo te meto a ti, y si tú metes a otras personas, a ti te pagan y a mí me pagan. And it's just like a pyramid, right? And the age-old thing of like, oh, well, you're working in a pyramid scam because you got the CEO, you got managers, and then you have employees. And so that's a pyramid, right? But stupid. Anyway, so when Advocare went under, well, not even when Advocare went under, a little bit before, I had gotten with Monet because of the shampoo. And I was just like, oh my God, like, this is so awesome. I honestly loved the shampoo, and I didn't want nothing to do with the business, whatever. And so then I finally was like, okay, I'll do the business. And I pushed that extremely hard too, because I loved it. But the way that they just promise you all these false hopes and dreams and say you're going to become rich and that you're going to become this and this and that. And then it's just like, when you start to get discouraged of like, oh, I'm not making that many sales, or it's not going as well as I talk to more people, post about it more, tell them more, have it always in front of you, and do this and do that. And it just, I feel like it just,
that's a dream,
ruined my image as a human.
Yes.
Cause it was always about vulnerability, and it was always about like, show people that, that you've been suffering from this and now you're here because of this product.
Yeah.
It's so ugly. I hated it. And I wish that I would have been smarter than to do that. Now, to me, like, if I post a link on my Instagram story, or I'm like or like when we get stuff sent from TikTok or whatever, like, I don't want to force it down your throat. Like, I'll show you how I'm wearing it and how I'm using it and unboxing it or whatever. But like, I'm not going to tell you, oh my God, you have to have this you have to have this blender because it's going to freaking change your life and it's going to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. No, like, hey, I bought this blender. I'm actually really excited about it. Like, I already made this with it and like, cool. You know, like here it is if you want to check it out.
Yeah, whenever I get some stuff, like I say honest reviews because I'm not, you know, like the doohey pills, like I did notice that it made my skin texture better because I don't know, I was going through this little phase where I was getting like little small granitos, like if it was like a heat rash. Yeah. And ever since I started taking those, I was like, it helped. It like hydrated my skin so much. And but if I don't like something, I'm going to be honest with it because I'm like, no van a decir, no, pues pinche mentirosa or something. No, fuck no.
Yeah. And so when Monet, I was pushing Monet so hard, even when we were working over there at this thing, and I thought my hair looked good. I really believed that it was healing and it was doing good and stuff. Well, it turns out that I guess they had this class action lawsuit where it was making people's hair fall out.
I know a few people that that went through that.
And it's so toxic, dude. It is so toxic because it's like on one end, you are seeing that there's all these lawsuits. Your hair, dude, like, that's not something you fuck with. You know, if something is harming your hair, you stop doing that immediately. They brainwash you and they're like, oh, well, you know, if somebody has a complaint, they can come and file something with the website or whatever. And the website will send them to get medical testing to prove that it's not this and it's not that.
For that?
I don't know, dude, but it's just, it was so toxic and ugly. And I don't remember why I stopped using it. Oh, I stopped using it because it's so expensive. Dude, it is so, I would prefer to go and use something like the Pureology or like the...
Love Pureology.
Whatever, Stephen Murphy or whatever, Kevin Murphy or whatever that was like real hot at the time, over like Monet, because I tried really hard to like just stay loyal and everything, but then it's just like you see all these things that are coming to you and again, I don't believe in loyalty now, but it's just, it's so ugly how they just like force it down your throat. And if you have anything negative to say or you have any negative questions, it's literally así como acabas de decir tú. Or for you bringing up a complaint, it's just like you get shunned from that crap.
Yeah. You know? I just, the date, like, to me, I'm like, at least validate that I, you know, said, hey, be like, oh man, you know, even just like, oh man, I'm sorry that happened to you. I would have been like, okay, they heard me. But everybody saw it, but didn't validate what I said. So that pissed me the fuck off to the point where I was like, I quit. Like, fuck you.
It's ugly.
And I'm done.
So I was in Advocare and then Advocare went down in 2019 over this big old huge lawsuit that obviously a pyramid scheme is illegal, but all these things were happening and they were being sued by the FTC or not sued by the FTC. Something happened that they ended up finding or being sued, and Advocare, instead of fighting the family of the founder, instead of fighting for this lawsuit and being like, no, we are a legit business. This is how we run things. If we need to change a little bit, we will. But the basis of our business is good. It's honorable. It's, you know, whatever. Bitch.
Yeah.
Instead of them fighting for it, they just said, oh, okay, this is what we have to do. Okay, FTC, appreciate the heads up. Now we're changing the entire business model. So basically what they did is, you know, you bring me in and I, as a customer, like I mentioned, Odita, I can work for that 40% discount. And then whatever I buy, you still get a small cut of it, like a very tiny cut of it. But because I built a team and because I have all these people under me who are ordering, that kind of rolls up to you. So what they ended up doing is they said, no, that is illegal. And it's a pyramid because you have all these people down here and then all the royalties go up here. What they did is they took away everything. So the people that were making 10, 15, 40, 50, $75,000, $200,000 a month from having these massive organizations went to, okay, only the people that are directly underneath you, you make a commission on what they buy. So that people went from making, for example, like $150,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $30,000 a month to making like $2 5,000. Like, so you're going from living this huge lavish lifestyle where you're bringing in millions a year to literally nothing. So everybody was scrambling, dude. Nadie sabía qué hacer. They did it just over a phone call, and there's just so much wrong with it. And people who are in MLMs and know the history, kind of like I do, know how much of a big deal that is. They just basically said, okay, no more. Now we're going to pay this way. So all the money that they were making over the hundreds of thousands of people that they had under them was no more. So now everybody's trying to find a different... Yes, exactly. It was horrible, dude. It really was horrible, because it'd be like somebody telling you, hey, you can't do hair anymore, and we're regulating the cost, and you can only make $20 for a full, 4 hours of work. Pendejos. That's kind of how it would be.
Yeah.
And so everybody started scrambling, trying to find a different MLM, right? And so the next MLM that I fell into was Nombre. Do you remember when I was posting about all that chocolate shit?
The one you would...
One thing I will say is that my skin, even since those days, with all of that collagen that I was ingesting, has still looked so freaking good. I don't take it anymore. It's been years since I took it. But the way that they just tell you, like, their schemy marketing schemes and their marketing tactics, like, it's fucking gross. Now being on the other side of it, no quiero nada. And if you started a business and you're selling, jewelry or potions, lotions, whatever. I literally told you, and I wish I had the text, and we might have it, but, where I just said, hey, I love you, but I don't support anything that has to do with MLMs. I won't buy from you. I won't promote you. I won't go to your little meetings. I won't do none of that.
Yeah.
I won't engage with your social media posts, because if anything, I might slide in your DMs and be like, you need to open your eyes and find something else to do. Porque te prometen el mundo. Te dicen que vas a hacer millones de dólares y, you just have to get 3 people to sign up the same way that you signed up, and then you start making royalties off of them. And then they each get 3 people to...
Yeah.
It's fucking gross.
It's insane. Like, it's gross. All the shit you're saying, I experienced with a plunder, and I mean, lo bueno que me encabronaron rápidamente y me salí.
And got out of it, yeah.
Because I was like, no, motherfuckers, y'all don't care about nobody but yourself. Seriously.
Y yo me siento bien mal, because I want to support people, right? But I've said it in another episode before. If you start a business, if you start selling something, if you start making something to sell, I will absolutely promote it for you. But if it's not a service that fits my lifestyle or my need, or a product that fits my needs, like, I'm not going to go and spend money on it just to help make that one sell for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish that I was nicer about it, but it just, I mean, too damn hard for my money, dude, to just go, like
tirarlo.
A raffle, like, if you're selling a raffle because Julian, like whenever he had the baseball or whatever, here, take my money. If you're selling, fucking cheesecakes or whatever, like, here, take my money. Or like with your salsa, here, take my fucking money, because that shit's so good.
Dude, mijo works so hard, and I'm going to fucking post this on here because I don't give a fuck, but mijo works so hard to get people to donate and stuff, and Permian people or coaches and everything, they're so prejudiced and they're so fucking racist, and if you don't have the money to shell out to fucking do whatever, they're not going to play your kid. They're not going to, and if they do, they're going to play him if the team is fucking winning. I fucking hate him.
Oh, that sucks.
And it sucks. And mijo quit because he was tired of like, just feeling like he wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? And mijo's good, but they're just, I don't know. And I 1000% support him. And that should be fucking illegal.
I wish that there was some way to regulate that. See, like the YMCA for Mijo's basketball team, you have to have you have to play your players a certain amount of time for them to be able to like check it off the list. Yeah. You can't just play your all-star players the whole time. You have to switch them out. I wish that's how the high schools were, but dude, they're not. They play favorites. If you have money, your kid's gonna be automatically on the team. Like, it's so sad. Yeah. And that's so gross. Discouraging for other kids, other players, because
as a parent, as an outsider looking in, I'm like, that's fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, and that makes me nervous for whenever my kids grow up, because for us in a small town, growing up in a small town, we saw it, but I don't feel like it was as prominent as it is here in a big city, right? Like,
it's sad.
In a small town, yes, and you can work your ass off and you can, try really hard and whatever, and it's easier to get noticed on a team of 20 people. Or I'm sorry, not 20 people. I'm being exaggerating, but let's say on a team of 12 people, it's easier to get noticed when you're improving, when you're doing better, and like you can't deny it.
Right.
Versus when you have like a bigger school like Permian. So I'm nervous for whenever my kids start.
It's like, to me, it's like you got to get everybody a chance, everybody fighting chance, keep training them, but give everybody a fair chance, and not just pick and choose your favorite or your friend's kid or whatever. Because that's disgusting, and shame on you, Permian High School.
No, I would 100% agree.
Yeah,
it gets like that because I've kind of even seen it in some of the leagues that I've been a part of, or that Mikos has been a part of, but we haven't seen it as much. And I strongly believe that the more that you are involved, like as a parent with them, or you kind of like stay in front of them, the better it'll be. So, you know what though? I'm that person that just wants to make friends with everybody.
Right.
Quiero like, what is it? Sorrear a todos, or like just to be like, known, because I just always am that person that never wants anybody to feel left out.
Right.
Or like they're being shunned, or whatever. So I always try to tell Mijo, like whenever they're playing, or like right now that they're at camp, I'm like, buddy, if you see somebody that's like kind of by themselves, or they're struggling to make friends or to like make connections or whatever, like invite them over to play with whatever you're doing, even if it's just you, like go.
And that's how my Julian is. Like Julian's so like friendly and outgoing, but dude, that really like broke my heart as a parent, because I know how in love with the sports he is, that it just breaks your heart, because you're like, man, he wants it so bad. He wants it so bad, and then they're not giving him the opportunity. Like, that's fucked up to me.
You should look at him, and you should look at it putting him in a private league.
Right? I know. Shit.
Expensive, but worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he loves sports.
Hopefully you related to some of those MLM scams and direct sales scams that we talked about, and also on the tipping culture. We want to hear your opinions. I mean, are we alone here on the tipping culture, or has gotten out of control?
Or did we just open your eyes? Or did she just open your eyes?
And I hope I did, because I just kind of feel like the more that we open people's eyes and that we kind of see shit like that, that we can start to fight back against it. Because it's like with inflation, like how do we fight against it whenever it's like literally things that we need every day, right? But with something like the tipping culture, that's definitely something that we can just all ban against and be like, no. Por favor, me da coraje. So please leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, or what your favorite part was, and which parts you can relate to, because we want to know your opinions too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.